We got Fox team coverage for you kicking off this hour. Our chief foreign correspondent, Trey Yingst, live from Tel Aviv. But first, to our senior White House correspondent, Jacqui Heinrich, live from the North Lawn. Any idea what President Trump has in mind?
No, John, and the press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, said only President Trump knows what he is going to do next. She also confirmed what he told reporters on Air Force One, that Iranian leaders called him looking to, quote, negotiate. He said a meeting right now is being set up, but also the U.S. might have to take some sort of action before that meeting because of what is happening. The exiled Iranian crown prince made this appeal to the president. Listen.
Mr. President, you have already established your legacy as a man committed to peace and fighting evil forces. There is a reason why people in Iran are renaming streets after your name. They know that you are totally opposite to Barack Obama or Joe Biden. They know that you're not going to throw them under the bus as they have had before. This is why they believe that this time they are empowered by the hope that you have their back.
Tomorrow, the president will reportedly look over a range of options for U.S. intervention, ranging from strikes to sanctions to anti-government propaganda and cyber attacks on military and civilian sites. He also said he's considering calling Elon Musk to get Starlink up over Iran.
We're looking at it very seriously. The military is looking at it, and we're looking at some very strong options. We'll make a determination. Some of the protesters were killed through the stampeding. I mean, there's so many of them, and some were shot. We get a full report. I'm getting an hourly report, and we're going to make a determination.
Some Democrats, like Senate Intelligence Committee Vice Chair Mark Warner, have warned against a kinetic strike, saying it might unite the Iranian people against the West in a way the regime has not been able to do. Warner also cautioned against more foreign intervention by the U.S., as President Trump has been joking Secretary of State Marco Rubio would become a good president for Cuba. He's also been doubling down on his pursuit of Greenland. The president reiterated once again that if the U.S. doesn't, quote, take Greenland, Russia or China will, and he is not going to let that happen. John.
All right. Jacqui Heinrich kicking us off from the White House. Thanks, Jacqui. Sandra?
Thanks.
Okay, the Iranian people are now entering their third week of anti-government protests there, and the regime's responded with a deadly crackdown. Chief foreign correspondent Trey Yingst is reporting live from Tel Aviv for us at this hour. Hi, Trey.
Sandra, good afternoon. Intense anti-government demonstrations across Iran over the weekend were met with a brutal crackdown. A source in Tehran speaking with Fox News via Starlink described security forces open firing into crowds of people, using tear gas and arresting thousands. Human rights organizations say at least 544 people have been killed over the past 2 weeks. With an ongoing internet shutdown, the confirmed number is expected to increase significantly. Today, thousands of pro-government demonstrators took to the streets of Tehran at the request of the country's leadership. The Speaker of Iran's parliament spoke to a crowd blaming President Trump for the protests. President Trump addressing the increase in violence when he was asked about this on Air Force One. That shot there that you heard, you could hear the Speaker of Iran's parliament blaming the president himself for these demonstrations. Now, President Trump said that Iran has reached out and wants to talk. The president is reportedly weighing options about how to respond and support the demonstrators amid new threats from Iranian leaders about striking U.S. bases and Israel.
Well, if they do that, we'll consider things targets they wouldn't believe. If they do that, we will hit them at levels that they've never been hit before. They won't even believe it. I have options that are so strong. So, I mean, if they did that, it'll be met with a very, very powerful force.
Israeli officials are also closely monitoring the situation, with forces here on high alert. There are concerns that strikes could open a new war with Iran.
We all hope that the Persian nation will soon be freed from the yoke of tyranny. And when that day comes, Israel and Iran will once again be faithful partners in building a future of prosperity and peace for both peoples.
It's clear that American and Israeli officials are watching what's happening on the ground in Iran very closely. But as we move forward, you have to listen to what Iranian lawmakers are saying. Yesterday at the country's parliament, they chanted "Death to America." John, Sandra?
Wow, Trey Yingst live there in Tel Aviv on that for us. Trey, thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.